Angie, how are you doing today?
Good.
So I approached you right now because you're a little bit you're sitting down and kind of slumped out, a little asleep, kind of asleep, right? So and you said you never do this, right? You never slump out, never sleep out here in the
It's
streets.
new.
It's new to you.
Yeah. Again, unfortunately.
So you had gotten clean recently.
No, I got off the streets. I was basically living with someone. Living with a boyfriend. That ended recently, so back out here.
He kind of kicked you out, or what?
Something like that.
And when you were together, when you were off the streets, were you clean? Like no, you're still using.
Yeah. More. I used more actually.
More.
Yeah.
When you're
In a relationship with someone, somewhere to live.
and now.
Basically, I stayed wherever it was we were staying, a hotel, friend's house, and he would just bring me packs of drugs, and I would just do drugs all day, not do anything.
What were you using?
Blues and crystal meth, sometimes alcohol and weed, but mainly blues.
And out here in the streets by yourself, what are you using?
Blues and crystal only, really. Yeah.
What's
But
the difference?
Not as much.
Not as much.
Yeah, so like basically when I'm in a relationship or at a place, I was probably like 20 to 30 pills a day, where out here alone I barely at about 4 alone by myself.
Because it's harder for you, like, to come up with them and
Yeah.
make money or something.
Yeah, you have to do something to make it. I'm like stealing, and I won't sell my body for money.
To the panhandle.
You do, but I don't. So sometimes I'll have the people walk up and give me money. Not often, but sometimes. Other times, just people around will see me and will ask me if I want to smoke, and say yeah. 'Cause you kind of know the game or what people are doing when you're on. You can tell.
How old are you?
32.
Do you have kids?
I do.
How many?
3.
They're with their dad, or
Yeah.
when's the last time you saw them?
Maybe a month ago. About a month ago.
Do you miss them? They miss you?
Yeah, a lot.
Do you think one day you'll be reunited with them and have them in your life?
I don't know anymore.
It's that's how strong addiction can be, right? Where it could break the bonds of a mom and her children, you know? It's been said that there's nothing stronger than the love of a mom for her kids, you know? But, you know, there's a lot of moms out here, you know, and their kids are in the system, they're foster care, they're with family, and they're missing their mom. You know, they need their mom, you know? And that addiction is just a terrible illness. Do you think it's an illness? What do you think it is?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And like, what's the resolution? Like, what's gonna have to happen for you to be off the streets and safe and just away from addiction?
Find a place that'll take me in and help me get clean.
Have you gone to treatment centers before?
No.
You've never been to a
Never.
treatment center? How long have you been using?
About 6 years now.
Do you think you've hit rock bottom or not yet?
I guess 6 years, you could say, with like me being on the streets, but really using any, like, under the influence probably since I was about 13 because I really drank. Because, you know, even when I was a mom and stayed at home, I was still drinking. So, I mean, technically I've been an addict. Well, an addict of a substance for what? Since I was 13. How long? It's what? 20 or 18 years? 13, since I was, yeah, about
Long time.
18 years.
Long time.
Wow. I never thought of that. That was a long time. Because I was never, I guess, the parent at full capacity when I was there. Because I was sometimes hungover. I mean, not as much, but you know what I mean? It was still not really yourself. I don't think unless you're sober.
So at 13, you've been numbing yourself for a long time, most of your life, right? Would you numbing yourself from like pain, childhood pain?
Hey, would you like to drink?
Yeah, sure.
Got that one. Let's drink.
Thank you.
Hello.
I don't know. This is where I don't know. It gets deep because I say that being sober. Then I know there's people that have mental problems. Sometimes they do, or you know, take something and they kind of like are normal. But I don't know. I just think like it depends. Like there's a balance as far as like how much you use and whatnot. So, what was the question you asked me though?
Do you think you've been numbing childhood trauma since you started at such a young age? You know, alcohol at 13, progressed to drugs.
Not really. I just like to be. I like the way I feel. Really, it's not. I think I've dealt with a lot of like childhood trauma. You know, it's more of how it makes me feel, or
Some people, you know, they just rebel they had a good childhood, like, you know, mom and dad at home, you know, middle class, you know, no abuse, no mental, emotional, physical abuse. They just rebelled. They just want to be rebellious and wanted to numb.
oh yeah, I hate authority. I hate when someone tells me what to do.
Okay.
I hate it. Like anything, even like going across the street, like you have to wait for that little like pedestrian sign. I even hate waiting for that. Like I try to be that like weird. I don't know. It's yeah. I think at any level, and I don't know why, but I know there has to be some control. So I don't know why.
Maybe soon you'll be ready for treatment. They'll help. There's counselors or detox.
Yeah.
To
I do
help you get back on track, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
What advice would you give for parents? I've seen 13-year-olds out here, 15, 16, 17-year-olds doing blues. You know, what advice would you have for?
Yeah, I can imagine. Because I have a 13-year-old daughter, and that breaks my heart. I would not sit next. I don't think I would sit next to a 13-year-old and smoke with a kid. I don't know if I could. I never have. You know, can't really judge them because to each his own, and people go through things and you don't know why. But at the same time, I have a 13-year-old, and I don't know if I would. If as a parent, I would want another adult sitting next to my kid smoking. I would think that I would expect a mom to understand and try to push the kid to go home. And parents, just because you're older doesn't make you wise. It doesn't make you correct about a situation. So listen to your kids. They're just smaller than you. That's it. Doesn't mean they're less. Just treat them like you want to be treated. Maybe they're not adults and yeah, they need direction, but that's it. Direction. Don't acknowledge them. Don't belittle them. You just do the best you can and be there for them. Love them.
If your family, if your children see this, what would you want to tell them?
That I love them. I miss them.
So Angie, thank you very much for sharing your story, opening up a little bit, and
Thank you.
I really hope that you get well. Okay, for yourself and for your kids. Okay, just try to get better, try to do better. You know, and there is help out there. You just have to be willing, and maybe you're not ready today, but maybe soon you'll be ready to seek out help and address whatever issues you need to help with, okay? Because it sucks out here. It's gonna get hot. It's dangerous for a single female out here. It's dangerous, right? I've seen it. I've heard stories, crazy stories,
I
right?
guess I just don't believe it. I don't know. I don't think that way, I guess. But yeah, right. It's dangerous.
You really have seen it? Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So thank you very much again.
Thank you.
I'm gonna hand you some donated items, okay? Here's some cookies. Here's a blanket.
Thank you.
Some snacks. And let's see what else I got.
The little stuff.
Little
It's
stuff.
really like what makes them happy.
Some hand wipes. Okay. And toothpaste. Toothbrush. Some more snacks. And here's a card from Subway. That's donated by my subscribers for you can go get some lunch, okay?
Thank you.
Take care of yourself, be good, be safe. We'll talk soon.